Hi, everyone. This is Sean McGregor. I've been getting a lot of questions about a presentation I gave about a week ago outlining the safety data ecosystem as it exists today for AI. So I'm going to represent it now, just cutting a few of the slides that were specific to that audience, and hope that it's useful to you when you're talking about AI incidents. So, first off, though, I'm going to step back to 2018. And back then, we were inspired by this chart looking at aviation accidents, really the fatalities per trillion revenue passenger kilometers, and saying, like, this is a good, well functioning safety culture, one that is seeing people get safer and safer year by year. And this is why we started, by and large, collecting bad things that were produced by AI in the world, or at least involved AI in the world. And that was just a spreadsheet. And we didn't even know what to call those at that point. We considered a bunch of different names. We looked at accidents, failures, vulnerabilities, threats, misuse, a lot of different things. But really, the thing that was the lightning that just made sense was incidents. We went with the word incidents and we started calling this spreadsheet incidents. And subsequently, we started working in the intergovernmental space with a variety of different players to really help standardize the term, including a definition that was produced by consensus among the experts group and adopted at the OECD. And over the course of that time, we were also still gathering these things and gathering them at great scale. And we had this curve going up of more reports about incidents, more incidents total. And it didn't look exactly like this curve of things getting better and safer. And the reason for that, by and large, is that there's just a lot more AI in the world. We're spending a lot more to market AI products, 644 billion in 2025, and that's where you're going to get a lot more incidents. And uh, another thing that we've needed, though, is that curve that you saw before from aviation is one that is normalized. It's looking at per revenue passenger kilometers. It's a notion of distance traveled. What's the accident rate? What's the fatality rate? We don't have a great measure of that at the moment. And the best I've seen as of yet is out of the OECD's AI incidence monitor, which does a news normalization. It just says how much of the share of AI reported news is related to incidents. And there's like maybe a slight downward trend, but it looks pretty flat to me. It doesn't look like this, massive improvement year by year. So we really still have a bit to go. And I would say that we need to continue building the community architecture of AI safety. This is a slide that I've had in various slide decks since about 2021. And to update that now to today, then let's keep building the community architecture of AI safety. We want to bend that curve downward. And to bend that curve downward, what is the scale we should look to operate at? Well, one example point we can pull from is the Federal Aviation Administration. And uh, this is a little bit misleading because in aviation, where there's 45,000 employees working on aviation safety in one form or another, uh, you also have AI. Like 45,000 of those could actually be people working on aviation AI safety because you have an increasing number of autonomous aviation systems. So, maybe let's set this as a lower boundary and let's ask the wider question of how many government or corporate employees are actually currently doing AI safety. And I would say it's just a few thousand. We need more. We need a lot more. But we can see evidence that things are starting to heat up. If you look at the user numbers for incidentdatabase.ai, the AI incident database, every time a bad thing happens involving AI, we see a surge of users and then it goes back down, but usually not as far down as it did before. People keep on coming back. People know about the resource, and this is also starting to be true across the world. We are seeing a lot of users from outside the US. Most users into the AI incident database at this point are not inside the US. And this is the community of practice for AI safety. These are the people that are trying to figure out how to prevent the bad things from happening in a world that is going to have an increasing amount of AI in it. Uh, we can tell who these people are really just roughly. We can look at who the subscribers are into the AI incident database. We can see that about 14% of the users are research subscribers. They're out of major universities. They are trying to figure out what is happening and motivate their research programs or just understand what is or is not safe in the world. About 3% of the users then have actual government domain emails, ones that set standards within government, ones that issue regulations, ones that are passing laws. And then most of the balance is going to come from non educational and non governmental organizations, big four accounting firms, AI startups, GRC startups, really everything in between. It's a quite expansive group of people. But what are all these people going to be doing? I would argue that they are going to be working on and with many databases for many purposes by many organizations, all sharing their data. Let's build out that food web, this data food web of sorts. And it all starts with people that often are reporting when a bad thing happens to a journalist that then writes a story. And we have a large number of journalistic organizations that are writing stories about AI incidents, and they're doing great work, but they are also understaffed relative to the problem. You have on the other side of things, people often are reporting directly to corporations when an incident occurs. This could be as simple as a thumbs up, thumbs down sign on a chatbot interaction. And hidden within those simple thumbs down signs are going to be a lot of incidents. And this is where you are starting to see people actually in major corporations that have a portfolio of responsibility for AI incidents. And that is an excellent development. We need to see more of that. I'm so excited to see that that's a, a job title that exists out there. We also have interspecific AI incident databases. One that has just recently popped up that's very important in the legal sector is a legal hallucination database that only collects case law and filings in courts that are involving hallucinated legal data or legal cases. And you also have people that are reporting straight into aggregators. These are the AI incident database. These are the AI incidents and hazards monitor for OECD. And I figuring out what it is that those aggregators, what each of the interspecific databases are going to be in receipt of, what the corporations are going to be in receipt of, is a matter of further standardization, figuring out what the data elements are, what's important to help us understand this evolving ecosystem. And that's where we're working with Etsy, and we're working with ISO standards, and we're working across the ecosystem to make it so that there's this shared language of safety data. And that enables us to do things like to cross-link between different databases. The AI incidents and hazards monitor cross-links to the AI incident database and vice versa when there's a shared URL between them. And so we have this backlink among the aggregators that is critically important. We also have what I would call classification auxiliaries or auxiliary information systems that provide insight on top of the aggregators. The MIT risk repository being a great example of this, of creating systemizations of what risks exist. There's also finally facilitators or organizations that are concerned with facilitating the private sharing of information among actors that have a need to know for that information. Great examples of this are MITRE's AI Incident Sharing Initiative. The Frontier Model Forum also has a information sharing agreement among the frontier model companies. And these have a topical focus because they are largely concentrated on security. And this is where I'm going to switch now from the current picture to more of a notional picture of where we would like to be. And that includes the aggregators and the interspecific databases linking and sharing data among each other. It also means the aggregators and the facilitators linking and sharing among each other. And then moving forward, looking at the directive under the EU AI code of practice, where there's the mandatory reporting of serious incidents. And this is another scoped database collection that different member states within the EU and then the EU AI office are going to be in receipt of reports, likely directly from corporations in some form, but they could also be receiving reports from people, and we can also share data between aggregators and regulators. So let's keep on building that food safety data web out, and let's keep building the community architecture of AI safety. And that's where at the AI incident database, we have a variety of projects that are underway. Among them is continuing to consult with various government NGOs and researchers to form a sensible incident sharing ecosystem. working towards the standardized reporting and sharing of incident data. There's more in the background there. Stay tuned. Quite excited for it. And we're also contributing to standards development, and we're also working towards defining a form of public health for incident monitoring, and more on that soon as well. With that, I'd like to thank the AI Incident Database editing team with Daniel Atherton, as well as the Responsible AI Collaborative Board, Patrick Hall, Heather Fraze, Christian Hammond. Uh, the Responsible AI Collaborative is the organizing body that wraps the AI incident database and provides its home. And finally, the AI incident database community, of which we would, without which we would not be where we are today. And thank you to the OECD Secretariat and the experts group as well for inspiring the creation of this presentation.